How are y'all doing? It's Alaniz, CEO and founder of Basics, and in today's video, we got another student success story from one of our VIP builders named Kohl from South Dakota. We are currently serving students in 26 states across the country, Canada, Sweden, Australia, Finland, and the Netherlands. That's 6 countries around the world, and I couldn't be any more blessed to do what we're doing. Now, to tell you all a little bit more about Kohl, Kohl's another blue-collar worker, very similar to Nate Yoder. I'll go ahead and put a card somewhere here. He ended up enrolling and completing and finding success in our program, which is again an online personal training program without a smartphone. So what this guy ended up doing, which I'm so grateful that he ended up challenging himself to complete the program, is that instead of having access to the app that we give all of our guys, which again I'll put some screenshots here, to where you can easily access the workouts and you have literally everything that you need in the palm of your hands each and every single time that you make it to the gym. What Kohl ended up having to do is that he would go on his computer, on his laptop, and he would transcribe the workouts from his laptop on the internet, and then he would put them onto a notepad, a literal manila paper, and then he would take that paper with him to the gym, and that's how he would get his workouts in. And we've had guys with smartphones, we've had guys that have made 6 figures, $500,000, whatever the case may be, that have enrolled with us, and they've made every single excuse in the book as to not complete their programs, man. So it's like, if Kohl can do it without a smartphone, what's your excuse for not taking a shot? Maybe you can do even better than Kohl. It's a possibility, you know? So again, if you want to find out if you can beat Kohl, you know, unless you want Kohl to beat you, that's completely cool. Go ahead and check the pinned comment below. I went ahead and left the booking link right there, or you can check the first link below in the video description. We're on a mission here to create a real movement. So again, if you want to make sure that you join Builder Nation, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel for new videos every single week. I love you all very much, and let's dive into today's video. How are y'all doing? It's Alaniz, CEO and founder of Basics, and in today's video, we are going to be having a student success story with one of our VIP builders named Kohl Kubal. It's Kubal, right? Or is it Kubal? It's Kubal, right?
Yeah, Kubal. Yeah, Kubal. Wow,
dude, I'm telling you, man, that's freaking awesome. When it comes down to it, guys, the people that have the best last names, the ones that you can hardly pronounce, like Alaniz, Kubal, fuck out of here, bro. Those are special. You know what I mean? So. Today we're going to be interviewing Kohl because he's one of our guys that's seen incredible results following the Average to Alpha program that you all have to know more and more about. There's a lot of guys that come to us saying, man, I'm kind of tired. I don't know if I can really follow a program, or work is kind of busy, whatever the case may be. Kohl has every excuse in the book, or he had every excuse in the book not to really follow a program like ours. And you all are going to be learning a little bit more about his story and how he still came across the other side better than ever before. So Kohl, tell the people about yourself, man.
Yeah, my name's Kohl Kubal, from a little town in South Dakota, Lesterville. Probably never heard of it. Grew up farming until I was about, I think, 18. Then I went to college for diesel mechanic. Got a job in town, worked at John Deere for like 3 years. And moved out of there, started my own business, turning wrenches. That's what I do, and work out. Came across Aaron on another Discord dating deal, and this guy knew his shit, so I was like, all right,
yeah, dude,
learn from this guy.
100%.
Pretty much that's how it came to meet, I guess.
Cool, dude. So tell the people a little bit more about where you started before, because the cool thing about you is that you actually had some previous experience regarding lifting weights and following meal plans, or at least more than most people. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't necessarily someone that was a complete beginner when you started our program. So tell the people a little bit more about your experience with lifting and kind of nutrition prior to starting our program and how that was for you.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'd lift probably four or 5 days, probably like 4 days out of the week before. Didn't really have a plan when I went to the gym. Pretty much I just like went to the gym, you know, boom, straight to the bench like every guy does that doesn't really know much. I didn't work out nearly as hard. My nutrition wasn't existent. Like, that wasn't a thing. I didn't realize like how important eating and all that stuff goes into your body. And like, if you want to get big, well, it turns out you got to eat more. I learned that. Aaron taught me. Yeah, didn't really have a clue what I was doing. Besides, I knew how to go hard. That was it in the gym. I just knew how to like push myself. but there's a lot more to it than just that.
Yeah, man. Effort's cool, but if you don't have the right game plan, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah. I had the willpower, but just not the knowledge.
Exactly, dude.
So
what was it that you were specifically struggling with the most before starting our program? Because I know that when you and I first spoke, you were wanting to bulk up, and we'll talk a little bit more about the progress that you saw. But I know that your bench press was a big thing that you wanted to kind of increase. So what about the bench press, and what about like progressing by yourself did you have the most problems with? Was it literally just like lack of knowledge issue with you, no structure? Like what do you think was making you struggle the most when you were lifting by yourself?
I'd say not having like a workout plan, like going in. The diet was the biggest. That was like 90% of it, I'd say. I just wasn't eating what I should be, and like taking protein and doing all the right stuff I wanted to get bigger was my goal.
Yeah.
But the diet was the big one. Just didn't like eat worth the crap. And then didn't have like a workout like schedule, like in your program. It's like boom, you got here. I brought my list with me too. Here, you got all that stuff right there, and it's all written out. It's all
Love it.
Well, it's not written out. It's on an app, but it's all this many reps, this workout, this. What you got to do. All you got to do is follow it.
Well, one thing we got to mention, guys, and I'm sure I mentioned it in the intro of this video. I haven't filmed it yet. Kohl, I'm actually super, super jealous of this guy because the way that he ended up finishing up his program and the way he actually got involved with it is because obviously what we do here at Basics is we have online personal training, meaning the way that works, we have apps that we give people, we give them PDF documents, so on and so forth, right? Now, Kohl's someone that decided not to have a smartphone, right? So the thing is that for him, if you saw the paper that he just showed you all right now, what Kohl ended up doing is that he had his laptop and he would write his workouts out by hand versus the people that were kind of, obviously when we give people the app, they have literally everything they need in the palm of their hands, right? Kohl, he would have to write it down before he would go to the gym, and then he would track all the data via hand, like manually, and then he would put it back in the laptop in order to finish up his program. So I think that's just incredible, man, because you found a way to make that work. You made an online personal training program work despite some obstacles that you had to deal with just by not having a smartphone, man. So I think that's incredible.
I appreciate it, man. Wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. It was like another step another step to do, I guess.
Crazy, dude. And let's talk a little bit more about the conversation that we had when you and I first started connecting, man. Maybe not the first like 15-minute call, but like the longer call, right? Let's talk a little bit more about that one, because what ended up making you decide to kind of take that leap of faith within yourself and decide to take the next step in your life regarding getting your health and fitness dialed in with Basics?
Oh, there's quite a few things. One, I didn't know what I was doing. Two, my mind was just kind of a mess. I was just like maybe a little bit of depression, maybe I don't know what to call it, but yeah, just down. Need some help, I guess, mentally. Really scatterbrained. Didn't have my discipline wasn't the best either. That was a big one. It's hard to even like look back at that now because of the change. It's
you look like a completely different person, bro. I remember when you and I first started speaking, certain words were it was hard to kind of get you to open up a little bit more about yourself. And now you're just a whole different person. And we'll talk about the person that you are now, but I kind of want to just dig deep into where you were, man. How would you best describe like your current state back then? I know you said scatterbrained. I know you said you weren't feeling the best. You weren't really disciplined, but how else did you feel, man? Like, did you overall feel just kind of like depressed? Did you feel like describe that moment to me, or describe that era of your life?
Trapped, almost like I knew I needed help, but I didn't know what to do. And I'd say that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Confused, on where to go, what to do.
Mm-hmm.
This was like right when I started my business too. So I was kind of grinding out that, but I was still really confused on like just mindset and that kind of stuff. Let's see. Maybe a little heartbreak in there too. Throw that in the mix. Some good motivation.
You had a breakup going on? I had no idea.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really we weren't dating, but it was just I really liked this girl, and it was like,
yeah,
she didn't like me back, and it was like, one of those kind of things.
I bet you regrets it now, huh?
What's that?
I bet you regrets it now, huh?
Probably.
That's what it is, right?
Probably.
Well, let's talk about some of the results that you had, man. Well, obviously now, because obviously or maybe not the end results, but let's talk about, I just want to kind of take it chronological with you, man. So when you first got started with the program, the first couple of weeks, man, how was it for you? You know, obviously when it comes down to you going 4 times a week in the gym, you kind of doing your own thing, to then going into a bulking meal plan and then going into a customized workout program that you had to kind of take an extra couple of steps to complete. You know, describe that experience to me and to some of the people listening.
First 2 weeks, that was the hardest. That was the hardest part of the program, was the first 2 weeks for sure. Aaron doesn't let up on you. he ain't gonna let you get by easy. I mean, I was really motivated, so it wasn't the worst, but it was a tough transition.
Yeah.
The meals were the hardest part, I think, was just like getting a pattern down to make the meals for the first few weeks. You gotta because you're eating 3 big meals a day if you're bulking. So you gotta plan out. And I'm running a business and doing all this other stuff. So I got limited time. So I gotta crunch all that meal plan timing into like Sunday and Wednesday. And so you're like trying to do all this shit, and it's hard.
It's tough, man.
The workouts were definitely a switch up. Yeah. It was like, went from going to the gym, lifting heavy for a few reps, go home.
Yeah.
No, that's what I used to do. And then we get into this, and it's like, it's
another level, right?
Yeah. I want to say some words that were probably said in the gym that I shouldn't say on here.
That's why it's down the YouTube channel if you really describe those leg days, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Those like 5 circuit leg days,
they're wild, huh?
It was a tough transition at first, but you get used to it, and it's good for the soul. It's good for you.
For sure, dude. And let's talk a little bit more about that, man, because obviously when it comes down to us guys, a lot of us think that we know what we're doing in the gym, right? Sometimes I know that before you started our program, I'm sure that you felt like you knew exactly what you were doing inside the gym. I'm sure that you felt like you knew how to string together a workout program, at least better than the average person, right?
Kind of an ego thing.
Yeah, man. So let's talk a little bit about that, because obviously with a lot of the people that we try to at least, introduce ourselves to, kind of thing, right? A lot of the guys think that they know exactly what they're doing with their workout program simply because they watch a couple YouTubers here, a couple YouTubers there, and they think that they know how to really structure a workout program. So I want you to talk about the experience regarding the workouts that you were doing prior, you piecing things together, like you were saying, you just kind of doing a couple of workouts here and there, versus you doing ours and then just executing those, and the difference between following like a professional program for you versus you just kind of piecing things together.
Oh, it was like a veil was lifted off your face on like all the reasons to why you're not getting the results you want, pretty much. That's the best way I could put that. You're just like doing all this work and you're confused beforehand on why you're not getting the results you want. Yeah. And then you get into there and he teaches you like, oh, you gotta do this. And you're like, oh, well, here we go.
Kind of makes sense, right? It's like, oh,
yeah, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you figure it out, it's like, oh, yeah, sweet.
Yeah, man. It's just the difference between playing basketball with I guess, basketball at the park versus playing basketball like the Chicago Bulls back in 1992, 1993 kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge difference.
Yeah, I don't. Is that, or could you repeat that question again?
Yeah, so it was just like the biggest difference that you noticed, and kind of like, because obviously with a lot of the people that we try to work with or we try to introduce ourselves to, some guys have prior experience to the gym. And really the question was just like noticing the difference between you feeling like you knew how to work out by yourself versus the experience with actually following a professionally made workout program that was made for you. And how you felt, if that makes sense. So it sounds like the big difference was just like the veil opened up in front of your eyes and you realized exactly why you weren't seeing results to begin with, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool, dude.
Then you learn like so many different workouts that I didn't know. You know, like front squats. I didn't know that was a thing.
It's crazy. You know, that'll get your upper back sore too, man. It'll get your upper back sore too.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
And let's talk about the importance of nutrition, because I know you mentioned that a little bit earlier. A lot of people think that they can out-train a bad diet, or they can kind of go to the gym and then just kind of eat whatever and then still see the results that they want to see, man. So I want you to talk a little bit more about your experience regarding understanding how important the diet program is and nutrition is to the entire play.
Yeah, it's everything. It's like, it's the number one key. If you don't eat enough food or the right food, or your calories are going to be out of whack, you're going to get fat if you eat, bad food. If you don't take the right amount of protein and carbs and whatever it all kind of goes to what your goal is too. If you're trying to cut or whatever, eat too much food, you're not in a calorie deficit, it's gonna screw you over. You can work out like crazy, but if you're still eating too much food and you're trying to cut, it's just, you're not gonna lose weight, or you're not gonna gain weight if you don't eat enough. Yeah. Like I remember this, I was stuck at like 190. That was a big barrier for me. And it was like, I was just stuck at 190 for like 2 or 3 weeks. And that was my goal, was to hit 190, but I was like, let's push some more. And I think I had a call with you. You were Ariel, I don't remember. Mm-hmm. And you were just like, dude, just eat some more. It's pretty much what it was. You changed my meal plan a little bit and ate some more and just focused on that. And yeah,
dude. Because nutrition, it's just, because when it comes down to your plan specifically, a lot of the guys that we coach, obviously because people are usually trying to lose body fat more so than gain muscle, just statistically. So for those of you all that are listening, Kohl had a huge bulking transformation. Kohl, tell the people about where you were beforehand with your body weight, and then maybe some like relative strength PR numbers with bench press and other things that you were doing, and then where you ended up finishing up your program at.
Gotcha. So I started the program when 178. I was benching, my bench was my strong suit. I was benching like 260 at that time. Squat, no idea. Deadlift, no idea. I was like, when I say I went to the gym and hit bench all the time, it's like, it was true. So, if I had to guess, my squat was probably like 180, 190, somewhere in there, 200 maybe.
Crazy.
And then afterwards, I went from 178, and at the peak of it, I was 197. And I was probably like 13% body fat, maybe 14. And I was benching 300.
Yeah.
I was squatting. I don't even know what I squatted. I did 315 once. I never really maxed it, but
insane.
Like I'm pretty sure I gained all my weight in my legs, like a good amount of it anyway. Because my legs and dude, I was tearing. I tore the ass out of like 4 pair of jeans after this program.
Sure. You get your glutes a little bit stronger. You gotta upgrade your clothes a little bit.
Oh yeah, dude, it tore them up, but legs blew up, back blew up.
Yeah.
I never tried maxing out my deadlift.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about what we do is we really try to, obviously, we tell you and all the other guys, there's those three variables that come with maximizing like your workout program, right? You have your intensity regarding how heavy you can lift, your frequency, meaning how often you can train a certain muscle group, and then your volume, meaning the total reps and sets that we're doing in just the each and every single workout, right? Now, with your program specifically, and a lot of the other guys that we coach, we always try to maximize frequency and volume, meaning that just for those of you all listening, we don't really try to do a ton of one rep maxes simply because with the amount of, and again, Kohl can vouch for, we do some circuit training here and there. We do a lot of hybrid bodybuilding kind of training, right? So we have some bodybuilding stuff, powerlifting stuff, weighted calisthenics, so on and so forth. And we just kind of mix it all together, and we came up with a really, really good program and protocol for our guys. If we were starting, I'm sure Kohl can vouch for this, man. If we started having our guys do one rep maxes every week, something's going to snap.
Yeah, people would be getting hurt for sure.
Yeah, so we always got to try to control our way, control our ego a little bit, like we mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Don't be one rep maxing it, like maybe like once a month, maybe.
Yeah, man. And what did you learn the most regarding how to regarding your workout program? Like obviously when it came down to you kind of following a professionally made program, what's the key takeaway that you learned about it? Because obviously we talked right now about like not ego lifting being one thing that you learned, but what else did you learn about kind of following a real program made by professionals?
A few good things. You really gotta just like submit yourself to the person you're learning from. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that. Yeah. You just gotta like submit yourself to, Aaron in this case. Just be like, hey, what do I gotta do? Just be a good learner. When it comes to like in the gym, what did I learn? I'd say it's a good question. Yeah, don't ego lift for sure. Just really focus on like your body and what your muscles are telling you.
Exactly. Do you notice something different about the structure regarding the structure of the workouts? Regarding like the pre-activations, the main compound movements, the accessories, and the isolations?
Yeah, for sure. Pre-activations just kind of like warm you up.
Exactly.
Get a feel on what you're feeling that day. If your muscles are good, if you got a pinched nerve, here, there, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all set up, like way different than I would have done it before I got into the program. It's set up like smart. It's like, hey, how you feeling today? You good? And there was a couple of times where, I did the pre-activations and it was like, ooh, my hamstrings like kind of screwed up.
Exactly.
Probably shouldn't be lifting squats today. Really heavy anyway. Just go light. Yeah, that's I can describe it, I guess.
And that's super key too, dude, because a lot of people, when it comes down to lifting programs, they will tell people to, especially coaches, like, hey, you start with your main compound movements first. And there's a lot of people out there that say that for a good reason, because you're the freshest. But the thing is that a lot of these people, if you look at their history, they've been injured, right? They've been having like crazy hip injuries, crazy shoulder injuries, because more than likely, us guys, you're the same way I am, Cole. I know it. We're hard-headed. So if our program says heavy, we're going heavy. So if you don't have some kind of like temperature check before you have your main compound movements in some way, shape, or form, you're going to end up pulling something. You're going to end up tearing something on a bad day because if your program says 5x5 or 5x3, whatever the case may be, and then you choose to go for it, even though you feel off that day, something's going to snap.
Yeah. And the ego can kind of get in the way there too, because like you want to lift heavy, but if you hurt yourself, you're going to be down for, a month or two, and then you're going to lose a lot of progress there. So it's like, okay, let's just take it easy for a day if we have to.
Exactly. Man, let's talk about what's up versus
getting hurt. And I did once. I messed my back up. Keep swearing. Sorry. Messed my back up, but yeah, that taught me. I was going too heavy. That taught me. I was like, all right, chill out, focus on the form. Form's a big thing I should have mentioned too. That's something I really learned. Like if you're squatting is probably the biggest one in my case. If you're squatting and you're leaning too far forward or whatever, not putting your weight where it needs to be on your heels, and you're going to mess up your lower back for sure.
100%, dude. And how do you like those tutorial videos inside of the app, man? Well, I guess you didn't see them, but did you ever study them on your laptop?
Yeah, I seen them a couple of times. There was like right when I got into it, I didn't like know what like a front squat or this or that. There's a few things I didn't know, like, oh, what is this? Okay, go through, watch the video. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Then pretty much that day, just focus on the form, get the form down on that because you've never done it before. Focus on the form for sure.
Love that, dude.
It's a big one.
Cool, dude. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the intangible, because obviously when it comes down to online coaching programs, people know it comes with a fitness program. People also knows about the nutrition, but I want to talk to you about the other pillars that we have regarding. I want to hear a little bit more about how your mindset's improved, because obviously you're just a completely different person. I want to hear a little bit more about the support that you've received and how you enjoyed the accountability and everything else from the group and the coaches. And I also want to hear about how you like the community regarding the brigade and how that feels for you to be a part of like-minded, high-value guys that are pursuing greatness, man. So talk a little bit about those other things that come with basics that make basics special.
Mm-hmm. Like the community, that's a big one. That's like, if you ever feel like you're not going to make it, or you're not going to want to go to the gym or whatever, just go into the community and like scroll through a little bit and read. That's what it's there for. Yeah. Like I thought about this before this call. I was like, everything that you could ever want, Aaron thought of and put it in the Discord, in Trainerize, whatever. It's in there. If he thinks of something new, it's probably going to be in there. But the community is like a really big one. You get like a builder buddy every week, and you text this person, hey, I'm heading to the gym, and then you just chat throughout the day. It's a good way to meet people too. Like Cody Paul, Ryan Barker, Nate Yoder, all those guys, talk to them on the phone all the time. And it's like, you become friends with them, and then you're kind of like almost suffering through this program, and it builds a brotherhood. I say suffering, but it wasn't the worst. Yeah, the camaraderie is there for sure.
Good, man.
What else? The one-on-one calls in the community. Yeah, you can book a one-on-one call and talk to Aaron whenever you want.
Yeah, that's a real special one right there, guys. I'm telling you. When it comes to programs, they won't do that.
That's what I mean. You like thought of everything that could, like, anything and everything that could help the guys, get through whatever.
100%, dude.
It's in there. It's for real. No BS. I was skeptical at first. Trust me. I was like, I don't know about this guy. But
I don't know what it is. But when they get on the other side, it's like, man, this is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get into it, you're like, all right, this guy's for real.
Yeah, man.
He's the real dude.
Let's talk. Yeah, dude. Let's talk a little bit more about the group coaching calls too, dude. Because obviously, when it comes down to what we do, we try to set our guys up for lifelong success with their fitness and nutrition, right? So obviously, when it comes down to most personal trainers, they will give people, like, let's say 20% of the equation, versus what basics does is we teach you everything that we possibly know, and then we'll always be here as a resource for the rest of your life regarding any questions or comments questions or concerns that you may have regarding fitness, nutrition, mindset, whatever the case may be, in order to help you succeed independently, man. So talk a little bit more about that difference, or I guess like that factor a little bit more, like how we set you up to be independent versus you feeling like we're holding things back regarding
like you don't want to control people for sure. Yes. I can pick up on that right away. Like, you're not in the game to hold back knowledge so that I'm dependent on you. That's what I was skeptical about at first. That was a big one. But once you get to know Aaron, you're like, all right, this guy like really, really cares about what he's doing. And at this point, I feel like I could do it on my own. I think I put that in the Discord a while ago. I was like, I think I got this pretty well down. And yeah, he's not in the game to like control your pocketbook per se. Like you're dependent on it. That's not the way it is. Which I think there's probably a lot of guys out there like that. I'm lucky that you're the first guy I ever came across. So yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what it's about. We just want to teach you how to do this stuff by yourself, man, because it's fitness and health in general, man. It's an unselfish act. You know what I mean? We want to set I want you to teach your sons this. I want your sons to teach their sons this. It's like a generational thing that we can kind of teach our guys how to fix, man. So it's bigger. Health is I guess just bigger than ourselves, kind of thing, as men, right? So let's talk a little bit more about the benefits, man. So I know we talked a little bit more about it earlier. I know you said mental clarity. I think if not, just go ahead and correct me because I don't want to put words in your mouth. But I guess let me put it this way: what are some of the benefits that you noticed? That way, I don't say anything for you regarding the program. And so now that the whole thing is done, the chapter's closed on this chapter of your life. Now, I want to hear all about the biggest benefits that you've kind of gained, man,
through the program. Oh, let's see. You're really going deep. I mean, discipline. There's discipline. There's drive, motivation. I mean, these are kind of buzzwords, but it's really true. Like what is it? Discipline, motivation, knowledge, like just the nutrition side of it, camaraderie with the guys in there, self-confidence probably went up a little bit. Not a little bit, quite a bit.
Went up like 20 times, bro.
Yeah, you just look good, feel good, play good. That saying, it's true.
Exactly.
Overall well-being, like your mind is, you're just a lot more clear. I don't know if it's just like the dopamine hits from working out or what. I don't know exactly how that all works, but yeah, you definitely feel good after a workout.
Exactly.
Especially these hard ones like that. I'd say like the biggest one was discipline in my mind. Like you go through these grueling, I shouldn't say grueling, but they're hard. They're hard workouts. You go through that and then you get done with it and you're like, that's going to go into your work. That's going to go into everything you do because you're like, okay, I can do this. What else can I do? I can go through this workout. It's like, it's great.
100%, dude. Love that. So let's talk a little bit more about the person that may be a little bit skeptical like you were, right? So say, for example, there's someone that's been following our YouTube channel for a minute, my Instagram page or whatever else going on, right? And they've been on the fence about joining this program, right? They're a little bit scared to dip their feet in the water kind of thing. They've been following the content and they just need that last little push to really make that big change in their life that they've been waiting for. They're tired of feeling stuck in the mud. They're tired of feeling like they can do it all themselves because obviously if they're still watching the content and they look the same as they did 6 months ago, they probably don't know what they're doing. So what would you tell that person?
Do it. Take that leap of faith, man. Just jump out there. I don't know. Just trust Aaron. Just trust him. He's got you. He's got you covered. It's no BS. There's no reason to be scared. There's no reason. After going through it and stuff, I was that guy once. I was that guy for a little bit, but I was like, what do I got to lose?
Exactly.
What's the worst case scenario? There isn't one in this case because you're the real deal. Yeah, just do it, I guess.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna invest in yourself, and you're going to come out smelling like a rose on the other side because it was totally worth it.
Exactly. I love that, dude. And who do you think this program is not for? Regarding someone who's like, if someone's lazy, should they take the program? If someone's unstructured, should they take the program? Like, who do you think this program wouldn't be a fit for?
I'd say you'll know instantly when it's just people that are unmotivated or they don't want to change. They're stuck.
Yeah.
They got to be willing to change. They got to be like at that point. They got to be like mentally tough in some sense.
Exactly.
It's not easy by any means, like, but it's totally worth it.
100%. So you all heard it from Kohl. If you're mentally weak, if you like staying the same, you like eating hot Cheetos and cheese, you like skipping your workouts, you can stay watching the content. That's completely cool with me. We appreciate the support. But if you feel like you are ready to change, you know what to do, right? So Kohl, man, do you have any last minute closing remarks, man, regarding kind of your experience with the program? Anything else you want to say to the people that are listening and might need that extra reassurance? Because obviously when it came down to you watched some testimonial videos as well. You had seen some of the other things. So now it's kind of like your time to quote unquote pay it forward, pay the same kind of reassurance forward to someone that's on that dipping their toe into the water kind of thing, like we said earlier.
Yeah. It's been real. I loved it. All the emotions that come with this journey is nuts. There's going to be days you don't want to go to the gym. There's going to be days that you don't want to do anything, but just do it. Listen to Aaron. Get in the program. If you're on the edge, just jump. There's a saying that I always tell my trucker friend: put your balls in the guillotine, man. Just do it. Either the guillotine is going to chop your nuts off because you suck, or you're going to call it bluff. Exactly. It's a weird analogy, but I came up with that one on my own. So
I love it. You got to put it on a t-shirt and you let me know what's up.
Put your balls in a guillotine.
That'll sell like hotcakes, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. But seriously, just get in this program. You won't regret it.
Awesome, brother.
It's worth it.
Cool, dude. Well, awesome, Kohl. It's awesome to have you as a builder for life, man, to be a part of the Brigade Builder Nation. And I love you, man. So just keep it up, man. Obviously, you're always going to have us as a resource. And when it comes down to the people listening, you all heard Kohl. If you feel like you are mentally weak, you like eating Cheetos, you like eating pizza, and you just want to stay the same forever, see you on the next video. Sayonara, and then we'll go from there, right? However, if you're someone that's ready for change, you are tired of feeling stuck, you are tired of feeling like you think you know it all, and you're tired of feeling like, maybe Aaron's not who he says he is, go ahead and book a link with me in the first. Dude, I don't know if I told you, I'm running off of zero sleep, so I'm just like pushing through today, just kind of making this work. So when Kohl says I actually care, guys, I give this thing 110% effort each and every single day. Kohl has been able to feel that on his end as a student, and right now, right? I'm going. So again, if you all want to find out more information to see for how you qualify to work one-on-one with the Basics team, please visit www.basicsbrigade.com/booking-page and fill out a 15-minute call form. That way we can determine if or how you'd be a good fit to work with us. Because obviously you have to have a mindset like Kohl. You have to have a mindset like Ryan Barker, Cody Paul, which we're going to have on a call, Nate Yoder. You all can see Lorenzo Pena. We have all these student success stories, guys, at this point. Come on. I don't know what to tell you at this point, right? So again, you can go ahead and book a call using that link. You can also check the pinned comment in the video description of this YouTube video, or you can check the video description in the just in general. Check out the first link, and then you can just fill out the form there. And then from there, you'll be speaking with me directly, right? So thank you all for watching. And again, if no one's told you in a minute, I'll tell you right now, it's time to get your shit together, man. See ya.